the strongest thing in the world is momentum.
True.
That's something I've learned these past few months. I don't know why I haven't learned this before, but if you're listening to this right now, know that momentum brings so much force into your life, and it can, once you get that momentum going, it'll just be easier and easier and easier. And that, if you look at your life and see where your momentum has occurred, I bet you'll see success more and more. So like, how would you, is there anything you'd say for those people that are struggling to take that first step?
Yes. So I remember, this is like a specific example, but it's like 100% based on what Michael's talking about. I remember in high school, especially like when I was a freshman and sophomore, and I would like have these essays, and I'd be talking to my mom, and I'd be like, I have so much work, like I just don't want to get started, like I have this whole essay I have to write tonight. I remember she would always tell me like, just start it, you know, just like you don't need to like bang out the whole thing, but like just start, like just go onto the computer, just create the document,
create the document,
put the heading,
even create the document. You like, once you start, at least you are way exponentially further in your path than zero. Than when you didn't start.
Like, just that's the hardest part, honestly, because it's such like a mental struggle, just like starting, getting yourself to get up and like do it. And then once you write the heading or think of a topic sentence, like you just get that momentum going, and it really does make a difference. Like my mom used to always tell me that, so it's just really applicable.
Yeah, something I tell my my parents, my mom and dad, they're like, I need to work out. I've heard this from another podcast. Go to the garage or gym, whoever you are. You don't even have to work out. Just go there and stand there, even for like a minute. And I guarantee you that momentum will start to kick in, and you're there. You're like, oh, I might as well work out now. And then you'll start working out. And once you start working out, you're like, oh, I might as well eat cleaner now. And you'll start eating cleaner. And then it's just taking that first step and showing up. Because if you don't, and you stay in your comfort zone of that zero level without doing anything, you're just stuck there.
Yeah, no, I really liked what you said about just showing up. Like, and kind of what you were saying about like the workout example. I know, like, for those of you that like work out like on a routine, like, you know that like some days you just can't do it for whatever reason. You just don't feel it that day, you know. But sometimes just like going and just showing up, you know, and even that doesn't mean you need to do like 110% and like max out and push like your normal weights or your reps, you know, but like sometimes just like being there for yourself and showing yourself like, hey, like I can do this, you know, like even on the days when it's hard, like I'm still showing up. But also this does go to an extent, like obviously you should take breaks, and like life is more important than just working out.
I was going to say, I think that's really important, but I also think that part of your growth and part of your ability to take that next step is allowing yourself to not do things sometimes, which sounds like the easy way out, but I really feel like in order to see yourself grow and see yourself kind of make progress, you have to allow yourself to sometimes like not necessarily backtrack, but I think that we live in a society that puts so much pressure on having to like constantly be moving, constantly be doing things. And like now that we're in a stagnant place because of the world, it seems so much more imperative to put yourself out there and continue to do things, which I agree with, which I think is completely valid. But I also think there's some beauty and there's some comfort in the fact that sometimes it's okay to let yourself just not do it. Not all the time, obviously, or else you're not in a routine. But I feel like it's kind of interesting when you sort of take that step back and give yourself the chance to just not do it. You kind of see your growth, and it's almost like it could put you back on track in a way, because when you feel so stuck and you feel like you have to do things, if you just stop doing it, sometimes it's like I'll do that. I'll be like, I'm just not going to do it. And then I won't do it. And I'll be like, oh, well, I really need to like get back on that. And you sort of find a way to reformulate it that works better for you. And I think that's kind of interesting.
No, I do like 100% agree with what you're saying, because I do think everything is a balance. And I do think that America especially is just so big on productivity culture that it can get like really toxic to a person, because you like I think a lot of the time culture tells us it's not okay to like take a break. It's not okay to have a lazy day, like grind all the time, 24/7, no breaks. Like
the toxic
toxic grind culture, literally.
Yeah, and just productivity culture that everything you are doing needs to be like productive, you know? Like, no, it's okay. Like, I think taking breaks is productive, you know?
I agree.
Yeah, it's part of it.
Yeah.
Like what I said last episode, everything you do should be a foundation for something you do in the future. Taking that break is a foundation for what you can do in the future. Because if you don't take that break, then you will break.
True. And sometimes in the breaks is when you find what you really want to do. Because sometimes when you stop doing something that you just hate doing, you sort of open up the door to find opportunities or look where you maybe wouldn't have looked before and find something that you actually want to do.
Yeah,
that's really interesting.
That's like why people take gap years and stuff like
True.
that, which I think is pretty cool, especially if you do that with intention, like what you're just talking about, tying back. Yeah, no, that's a perfect example. A gap year.
Do you think you guys could do a gap year? I personally couldn't.
I don't think I could
because I think it ruined my momentum.
No, that's exactly.
And then I
what
wouldn't
was
want to
gonna
go
say.
back.
Yeah,
I think I'm not wired to take a gap year.
Yeah.
I don't think my brain would work that way. I think that I would feel really anxious.
Is there anyone you know that's taken a gap year that has come back and finished?
I don't think I know anyone
Not
who's personally
personally.
who's taken a gap year.
But yeah.